Welcome to this episode of the Business of Real Estate podcast with Lynn Hoffman and Eric Johnson. Today, we are joined by Madelyn Towns, rising superstar in real estate, and does an amazing job with social media. And I think one of the key things that for all of you out there, social media is either you love it or you hate it. And for Madelyn, from my viewpoint, she loves it. She does an amazing job. Wouldn't you agree, Lynn?
I do, yes. It's fabulous.
So let's introduce everybody to Madelyn Towns. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
That's awesome. First off, just tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in real estate, and when did you really get into the social media aspect?
Sure. So I started in real estate about 7 years ago, and social media was kind of a symptom of the pandemic for me. So I was locked down. I wasn't doing very much business, as many agents weren't at the beginning anyway. And I was bored and I started making content. So that's how I gained a following, as I was just consistent.
And you know what I've seen is that, and it's something I tell all agents, is just be yourself. And you can't just put all for sale, coming soon, sold, all that wonderful stuff that everybody does, which is kind of boring. And it's really just selling, and it's like almost screaming at the public,
That's right.
Come buy my house, come buy my house. And I say, because people are buying you. And the other, how do you set yourself apart? I think you've done an amazing job on that. You've done a really good mixture of, voicing items for the community. Lately, you've been doing a lot of things in Hamilton about the rebuilding, refurbishing, whatever you want to call it, of the arena and what's happening to the community around it. You talk a lot about how you do business. You talk a lot about what's happening in real estate, not just for sales, but I've seen you talk about here's how the Canadian economy is built, et cetera. So you really give a lot of great information.
Thank you.
Now, did that come right off the get-go, or did that take you a while to find your voice?
Well, I realized actually through traditional lead generation, like door knocking and cold calling, that people don't want to be sold to. People want information. So I empower the consumer to make decisions based on the information they're receiving. And that's pretty much the big secret.
And you get, and I believe I saw you one time mention, like, you get business, like nobody's looking elsewhere. Because I think what happens is, and I've said to everybody, if you show who you really are, certain people gravitate towards you. It's things like sharing core values. When I talk to team leaders and I say, you want to have a certain set of core values, and the people that resonates with, they'll gravitate and join your team. People that it doesn't resonate with, we want to tell them, bye-bye, sorry, it's not a good fit. And I think that's a good thing for what you're doing is people are seeing, hey, you know what, I think Madelyn would be a good fit for us. We love what she's about. And they don't want to deal with somebody else, right?
For sure. I think that in this day, we're inundated with so much. Everyone knows 5 agents. So it's the same thing as like no trust, but I'm kind of converting that on a social media level by staying present consistently by making videos. So when people think real estate, they're like, oh, that Madelyn girl on TikTok knows what she's talking about. And that's kind of how I get hired.
Yeah.
You just put the basics on steroids.
Exactly.
Get to know you, trust you.
Exactly.
Likability is part of it, but the trust part is really important. And you said twice the word consistency. And so that leads me to ask you the question, how often do you post, and where do you find the inspiration for the content?
Sure. On a slow day, I'm posting 2 videos. On a very busy day, it can be up to 10.
A day.
Now there's no, like, they're not videos where I'm preparing. I'm not sitting down. They're not scripted. It's just off the top of my head. Or I'm looking at comments and they inspire me to make another piece of content, and then that furthers the conversation. But in general, I'm inspired by my rage sometimes. I'm a very passionate person, and so I think that is how I channel a lot of the things I talk about. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's a real event that might have happened to you. Or
Absolutely.
you've seen it happen.
Yeah, lots
and
of
you just
storytelling.
instantaneously, in the moment, get on the phone
sure.
and make your little
Yep. You got it. Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting, though, you started answering and you said about, it was almost like a comment. So, and you see this a lot because
right.
I know you do a lot of TikTok. So before I get into the question, your channels of choice are TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
anything else?
That's pretty much it. Those
much
are
it.
my top two. Yeah.
And those are known for, anytime you put a lot of content, you get a lot of commentary.
Absolutely.
Those keyboard warriors
Absolutely.
want to bring you down. And so do you use some of that to fuel?
For sure, yeah. There's rage bait content. A lot of that's happening in real estate right now where agents are making content purposefully trying to get that reaction so the video does well, but there's a fine line for me. I think it's about positioning the content and the video in a way that sparks conversation, but can be seen on both sides, not, oh, this is crazy, and then it leads to just untrustworthiness, right?
Yeah.
So you wanna be careful with that.
Yeah, and I think, Lynn, you and I have talked about the ability people want to know that you can market
Yes.
their home, right? And that's, there was a survey done by National Association of Realtors, and one of the things that sellers were looking for, somebody who could truly market their home. And I think, and I've seen a number of people have talked about that serious influencers will say, no, I get clients because they see me, posting, and they know, to them, that's marketing.
Yeah.
Right, so you're really advertising. Hey, I know how to get that content out. I'm in
That's
front of
right.
your face, right? I'm just curious, like clients. So knowing that when you go to meet with people, what do you hear in terms of do a lot of them find you through social media? What do they think about it? Do they comment a lot on it?
Yeah, well, just to give you a little snapshot of my current business so you understand how serious social media is for me. I have 4 listings on the market and 3 buyers, and every single person has come from TikTok. So when I meet people, the great thing is that I am myself online, so there's no surprises.
Yeah.
I'm very direct. And I find that with people who, how do I say this?
Just say it.
Come on, be direct.
Yeah, I'm like, I know I'm not on TikTok right now, so I'm trying
No,
to be
it's
reserved.
okay. You can be yourself.
Yeah.
Here. Relax. We're good.
So there's a lot of haters out there that say, there's no way. Even agents say there's no way this chick is attracting an audience with the content she's making. Like it's crazy. But every single house I go into, it's really crazy to see the juxtaposition of what people are saying and then the reality. And when I ask people where they found me, it's always TikTok. And when I ask them why they called me, it's because they say, I know what I'm talking about. So it's what I find, it's about finding your audience specifically. A lot of agents are scared to push people away. We want business, right? And so they stay very generic.
Yeah.
But that content gets washed out. So if you're making the content that attracts your people to you, you're going to do business. You can't be scared. You can't be scared to push people away. You can't work with everybody.
But you're also being very authentic.
For sure.
They see you and you are who you are, and I think that resonates with people. There's no surprises. So if they like you, they're going to like you a lot, and they're going to understand that you're not afraid to say the things that maybe other agents don't want to say because of
For
those
sure.
very reasons.
Yeah.
And you are who you are. So they get to be. Facebook did this for a while. I do believe it helped people get to know who the other person was by talking about what you do and who you get a general sense about who somebody is. But in TikTok, in the moment, you get a faster sense.
For sure.
And then if you
It's
keep that up,
instant.
I mean, 2 to 10 times a day, that's a lot of posting.
It is.
That's a lot of getting to know your
It is.
audience and them getting to know
Certainly.
you.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's true what you say about, I think it was either an episode or 2 ago, we were talking about that is, you can't work with everybody, so you have to be willing to fire clients. And it's nice if you don't have to. If I say if they, what's the term? They take themselves out. They self-remove themselves, right? So just based on what I've done, the content I've put out, and if I'm not a good fit, good. Let me know that right away so I don't waste time,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
As you said, there's, how many millions of people in Southern Ontario and so many realtors, and you can't handle everybody.
No.
You don't want everybody.
No, you certainly don't.
So let's attract the ones that I enjoy working with,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're doing. They're coming to you. They're finding you because
Yeah.
they like what you
There's
do.
almost zero, I mean, there's zero outreach other than the videos.
That's crazy.
It's like a built-in CRM.
So what would a typical day look like for you when you're doing up to 10 posts?
Yeah.
Where are you when you do them? Just give us a sense of what you do in a day.
Sure.
Are you in the grocery store? Are you out picking up
Sometimes.
your laundry, doing other things, picking up the kids, whatever?
Yeah. No, so I'm entirely working all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm on my phone all the time. But if I'm out doing showings, I'll find some time after or before to make a quick piece of content. So I'm finding parts of my day where I can really work on that's how I work on my business. That's how I contribute to my business. So it's very important for me to like make the time. But sometimes I have slow days like any real estate agent does. And I really put my all into those days and really try and make maybe like an expert sounding piece of content. Some of my content's a little more personal, and then some of it is a lot more researched. So it just depends on the flow of my day, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I take it then you don't really have a set schedule
No,
for posting.
zero schedule.
It's just, I do it, I get it out right
Yeah.
away. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that goes against a lot of the advice that a lot of real estate agents give other agents. They tell them to batch record their content and, make the costume change, whatever. No, that's it. That's going against authenticity, really, at the end of the day. You are purposefully coordinating and having to think about what you're going to talk about. But if you're just consistently inspired throughout your day, it comes across better and more authentically.
I would say, I think those who struggle to do, and I was going to ask you about, advice you would give, but I would think that for people that I know when I work with agents and I'm coaching them and they're not strong in social media or they want to get going, I will talk about doing batch recording only because sit down, do a number of videos, whatever, create that content because to get them to do just
They need
one,
to be comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
to do one session, okay, cool, they're good, right?
Right.
To do multiple every day, they're like, oh my God, I can't do that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's pick one day.
That's right,
And do
yeah.
a bunch.
For sure.
And then those who are comfortable can do it off the fly. But so with that, what would you say to a brand new agent who's coming in? Because to be honest, our podcast is geared towards all agents, new and experienced. But for that new agent that's looking to get started in social media, what would you recommend to them?
Stop thinking about it so much. They overthink it. They have to create
do.
a master plan. They have to sit down and think about it for a week before they even pick up their phone
Yeah.
to make a video.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of agents decide, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to invest. And then they buy equipment. That is the worst thing you can do. All you need is your phone.
Yeah.
For your entire business, all you need is your phone.
Yeah.
So stop thinking about it and just do it and post it and don't watch it back.
Thank you for saying that. Because as we were just talking before this, I said Carrie Underwood says, post and ghost.
100%.
If you're not comfortable with looking at yourself on there, because we're all critical of ourselves.
Yeah.
And the one advice I just give to my agents is, look, everybody sees you the way you are at the end of that video. You're the only one that doesn't, but everybody else already knows you that way.
Exactly.
So why would you be afraid of that?
Exactly.
But I notice a lot of our agents are getting better and better at this. I do notice a lot more. Some are doing really good stuff.
And it just takes time. I have an agent in Niagara Falls who she was really reluctant and nervous to do videos, and just, gave her there was a couple of us gave her words of encouragement. She kept doing. Now she's comfortable doing them all the time. And it just, for her, it took time. And I think sometimes there's, I want to say some of the older agents who are not used to technology,
new
they
world.
struggle with it, right? Those that have grown up with technology, not a big deal. But I also think, to your point, Lynn, is I've had agents, I'll say, look, if I asked you to show me a house, would you show up and show it to me? Yes. So you would be dressed the way you're dressed and you would sound the way you sound. So what's the difference if all I did was I happened to hold my phone in front of me and record you? It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
But they do get
I think-
concerned about
Yeah.
sound and look.
All
So
sorts of
just
things.
Forget it. Like
And
you
they
said,
might-
forget about it.
Absolutely.
They might still want to look like that picture that's on their business card, which
Yeah.
doesn't exist because it's like 20 years old sometimes. So,
20.
and that's a jab. That's
Yeah.
a direct jab.
No, it's-
Back to the day.
But again,
Glamour shots? That
Yeah.
glamour shots
Oh yeah. We still got some of those on
Okay,
business
guess
cards.
I'm aging myself here.
Yeah. I think it really comes down to mindset again. It does. Everything to me always comes down to if you can do it in your mind, you can just do it. So you got to get over yourself and understand that I tell people, agents, this all the time. You are the gift. You, the agent, are the gift to
You're
these
what
people.
people are buying.
You are the emotional brand
That's
for
right.
these people. They already have seen you and know you. And in some cases, they love you a lot. So get out there and share that with everybody and get over your own insecurities.
I totally agree.
And it's harder to do than it is to say, but I think everything comes down to if you can do it in your mind, you can do it. And just get over the mindset of everything has to be perfect. Even when
Exactly.
we hire new agents, a lot of them they have to get this right, and they have to think they have to know everything, and they have to do this. So you're 100% right. They think they have to have the equipment. They think they have to dress a certain way. No, you don't.
I'm mostly
Let
in
people
sweats.
Yeah.
That's how at home when I'm working, I'm not dressed up.
Oh.
Like, so you have to be authentic to who you are.
I mean, you can show them both as you're doing that
Exactly.
many TikToks,
For sure.
videos.
Yeah.
You can change it up, and I think that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
Is it's fast, it's digestible quickly, it's in advertising years ago. They used to say it took at least 15 times for somebody to even recognize you.
Yeah.
Well, my gosh, now with the speed of TikTok and social media, that's fast.
It's fast. And you only have maybe a split second to get someone's attention as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, also you talk about the sheer like 2 to 10 times because there is so much content. There is so much noise out there that you do have to put out quite a bit
Yeah.
so that it gets seen.
That's
As I say
right.
to people are afraid. I go, you could repost that 2 or 3 times because the chances are I didn't see it today when it went out,
right.
and I wouldn't see it again until you repost again. And maybe it's the 3rd time you did it. And, oh, now I finally saw it. But yeah, you do have to put out that content, don't you?
Yeah. That's a lot of agents ask me how I find the time for it, but you have to remember I'm not doing traditional lead generation at all. I don't do any like cold calling. I just recently started inserting myself into open houses again, but that's because of course the market's the way it is. It's changed, but also it's to get on the ground level and hear from consumers. I'm finding that most people walking through my open houses are represented, but it's a good chance to see what they're looking for. And then I take what I'm hearing and I talk about it on video.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And I'm going to add something to that. First of all, I was going to ask you, how many followers do you have on TikTok?
On TikTok, I'm creeping up to 27,000. I'm in a growth stage right now.
Great.
Sometimes it's more flatlined, but across all my social media, just over 30,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
thank
good.
you.
So what was I going to say to you? I think that when you've got this content and you're doing this, as I said, you can change it up. You can do different things. Do you ever do a TikTok video from a home that you're doing in an open house?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I'm careful,
Careful,
about certain things. I don't. I'm very serious about safety.
Yeah.
I don't want the internet knowing like my location.
Right.
But it gives people ideas for the future. If I post like, I don't want to be trackable, and it's a weird space to be in, where your client wants you in the house for the open house, but it might get to a point eventually
Right.
where I'm going to have to sub that work out. However, you could make videos and then post them at a later date, but again, I'm uncomfortable with people knowing where I am.
And that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah.
I wanted you to bring out that sort
Yeah.
of danger of that.
Absolutely.
One thing you said was people come in the open house mostly represented. I think it's good to have an attitude that perhaps even though they say they're represented, they may not be represented. And it's still good to work and talk to them and provide value to
For
them
sure.
as you can in an open house.
I view the open house very differently
Yeah.
and probably really controversially compared to what a lot of agents see them as. I wrote a piece actually this year called "The Open House is Dead, Let It Die," and it's because
I read that.
oh,
I did.
now it's not that I'm against open houses or I'm saying that they don't work. They certainly do work, but the issue is that agents go into them not wanting to give but get.
Right. Yes.
You can't just get. So they go in saying, I'm going to meet a buyer today and they're going to
buy
be my
this
client.
house.
Yeah, they're going to be my client. It's not like that.
No.
It's more ground level work that should stabilize your view of what's going on in the market to give other people, sometimes your own clients, more information.
Yeah.
So they're not, for me, they're not lead generating activities. If it does result in a lead, that's amazing. I've shown my value, but just know about the house you're in, know your product, and be able to communicate with people effectively.
I think that's exactly what I wanted to bring out here is that when you're in an open house, it's not that you're there necessarily to sell that house. There's other reasons to be there, and I believe in giving. So I definitely believe that the more you give freely,
Yeah.
without strings, the more likely the universe is to give you things back.
Absolutely.
So when you go there, if people are asking you questions, you do your very best to answer them in a competent way and show them the value of having someone do an open house for them.
Exactly.
And if you get the lead, well, that's great. That's a bonus. But that's not the whole purpose of the open house.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's you're auditioning for other people, and so if they
Yeah.
see what you're doing and what you're
Sure.
giving, like you had pointed to, that's where the power is, right?
Absolutely.
Because their agent may drop the ball and they go, but man, like that was an amazing open house, and the information that you're given, that pays huge dividends. I want to take it back to sort of your plan and how you create the videos. So just for the agents out there wondering, okay, well, I have a phone and yes, I can record, but it's the editing, it's the other stuff, like the closed captioning, et cetera. And you and I both know there's a lot of great tools out there.
Sure.
So I'm curious, what tools are you using when you
Yeah.
record? Are you doing it in TikTok? Are you using CapCut? Are you, like, what are you using?
Yeah, so I've recently had a kind of a disaster strike. I made a really long video within TikTok natively, and it disappeared. And I was like, that's the last time I'm recording within an app. So now I'm recording on my iPhone exclusively, and then I'm editing in CapCut. I subscribe for premium versions of all of my tools because I want quick and efficient tools. It's what I do full time. Of course, I'm going to pay for it. But yeah, CapCut, and then if I find the video will do well on Instagram, I post it on there as well. So I'm usually posting on both, but sometimes my content's geared specifically for a platform, whatever I think that will do well on either one. But yeah, so CapCut's my main editor for sure.
And are you using a lot of the AI features?
No,
Okay.
I don't use. I mean, I
You want control.
That's
of
right.
That stuff.
I definitely have control issues. But I use ChatGPT often for furthering my thought process for
Yeah.
videos. But I don't use it for actual like recording or anything like that. You can tell when it's AI. People want you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of these clone software things popping up where people are cloning themselves and then the AI model's talking. It looks like garbage.
Yeah.
It looks like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So no, I don't use any of that.
What would make, in your opinion, your video more suitable to TikTok than it is to Instagram?
That's a great question. Usually length.
Okay.
Length.
So typical length, I know TikTok's pretty quick, but what is the actual time?
So I actually find that longer form content is doing better on TikTok.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is recently Instagram, they put out a kind of a warning before you post a video over 3 minutes that says videos over 3 minutes won't push out to a broader audience.
Okay.
Because they want quick. So I'm finding that while TikTok used to be the app that was quick. People are turning to it for longer form content.
Yeah.
So the longer videos, usually my longer videos go from about 7 to 10 minutes, but I try and put the quicker ones on Instagram. Yeah.
So it's kind of reversed a little bit
Yeah,
over the
it
evolution of all
has,
this.
for sure.
Instagram is the quicker one.
That's right.
TikTok, you've got a little bit longer.
Yep.
I know the TikToks that I watch tend to be a couple minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They're a bit on the longer side.
For sure.
For
yeah.
that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you
it's
can
interesting.
put a long video on TikTok.
How much do you pay attention to the analytics?
A lot. I live in it. I do.
What are you focusing on? Like, because some people will focus on likes, some people look at views, other people look at how long, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just curious what your go-tos are when it comes to analytics.
Region.
Yeah?
Yeah. I want my content targeted to my region. That's kind of like farming.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important when you're making a video to mention the area you're talking about, mention where you are, and I do that a lot. Not just taking the location is not enough, even though that helps. You want people to know exactly where you are so they know where to find you, and if they want to work with you, then they know they can because you're local. So I pay most attention to region, but I pay attention to a whole bunch of stats. I go live a lot on TikTok, which I find actually is the main driver of people reaching out. Because when you're live, you don't have a script. People are asking questions, and sometimes you have to be on the ball.
Yeah.
So if you're on the ball on live, I find that people will reach out. But it's interesting. My lives are usually split half and half, men and women. That's an interesting stat to look at as well.
Yeah.
Even though I find women mostly reach out to me, if it's a husband, wife, or a couple, the woman always reaches out to me, which is interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I pay attention to pretty much everything. Likes and views, I really don't care about. It's like the last thing I care about because I know people are watching. But yeah, just to dig into my audience and figure out what that demographic is wanting to hear and see, that's sort of what I do with that.
And with the lives, typically is that evening, during the day? What do you
It's
find
always
works
in
best?
the evening.
Yeah.
Kids are in bed. People are scrolling, usually past 7 p.m. And honestly, like last night, I went live at 10 p.m. And I did it for about an hour and a half. And I just sit on my couch, pretty much in my pajamas. And people are like, so how's the market?
That's the best question in the
It's
world.
right.
It's the question.
It is.
I was just going to
Yeah.
ask, how long do you go on these lives for? Like, what's the
Sometimes
average?
3-4 hours.
Wow.
If I could really get into it, sometimes for a long time. And the conversation switches a lot. It's not just real estate. I talk about a lot of things I'm interested in. I have a lot of interests.
And what would those be?
Put
Community? Hey,
Well,
community
I
impact.
talk a lot about Hamilton.
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I talk a lot about Hamilton. I live in Grimsby personally. I talk about Grimsby, the things that are happening there. I talk a lot about the government as well. I've gotten in trouble for that. But
By whom?
just people in the chat that don't agree with me.
Okay.
But politics is always going to be divided.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I've recently tried to really stay away from having like a strong opinion because it wasn't received very well. But yeah, and I talk about life. just living through, I don't know what we're in. It's that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think your passion for community comes through. I've been watching a lot of the stuff you talk about, the old Cops Coliseum and how they're trying to push out the shelters and et cetera
right.
around. And you talk about how you grew up there, and it just comes through that you are passionate about that. That is, it's good to see that you're using your channel for things other than just real estate and pushing for, hey, here's some change. And you make some very valid points.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought it was pretty cool. And I forget the gentleman's name, but he shared your one video where you talked about Canada's economy, how it's built on, real estate. And
Yeah.
he was sharing it. And so it must be cool to see other people go, wow, she's got such a great opinion,
Yeah.
and not your traditional real estate agent channel. They're sharing your stuff.
Yeah, but it's because I'm thinking outside of the real estate agent box. I find that when agents get on social media, they're like, okay, I have to do this to get business.
Yeah.
That's their main priority. But they don't understand that the business is going to come if you create great videos and content.
It's not that though, I don't think, Madeline. I think it's just about being authentic with people. That you're talking to them and you become the brand that they know. They may disagree with you on Canadian politics or the way Canada has, done damage to the real estate market. But for you to be able to be on there unafraid to make legitimate comments as to how it could have been better or what it could have been done. I think that resonates with more people. I think when everybody tries to take one position and hold on to that one position, and it really isn't a position, it's kind of in the middle of Switzerland, it's neither one nor the other. It doesn't impress anybody. I think people want to hear your opinions and have good
You're right.
dialogue with people. And it also helps them learn more about who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And this is, AI is great. Don't get me wrong, I love it and I use it and I think it's a fantastic thing. But nothing will take away from that personal interaction and how people understand a person and why they want to deal with that person. It's because of who you are and your
I agree.
opinions and your values.
I agree.
I think values are also critically important. And you can't show those values if you're just sticking a sign in the lawn and going, it's for sale.
Yeah,
That
for
doesn't
sure.
tell me a darn thing about anybody.
Yeah, we're in a
Or
very
posting all your pictures of being on vacation. Nope.
The world's connected now, right?
Yes.
So you can't just stick a sign
No.
in the lawn. They're going to look you up. They want to see what you're about.
And what you do.
That's right.
And if you're trying to hide who you are and hide what you're about because you're afraid somebody's not going to like it, then you're not going to meet the right people.
Absolutely.
You have to put yourself out there in this genuine, authentic way so people can decide if they like you or not.
Yeah, I
And if
agree.
they don't, it's their loss. It's okay.
It is okay. And hopefully they'll leave a comment because that's engagement. You want that.
I think comments are good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that you don't want it too radical, but I think, again, putting stuff out that's thought-provoking, intelligently thought-provoking, is good. And if you don't like it, you don't have to read it.
Yeah.
And you move on and
Yeah.
go do your next piece.
Exactly.
But
exciting.
you're getting engagement. I think that's
That's
the
the
key.
thing. Well,
you're
you
getting
know.
at least people are watching and are engaged. They're not just scrolling through, right?
Exactly.
But what do movie stars say? Movie stars, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I think that's true. I have had hordes of bad publicity during my time on TikTok. My videos have been reposted on Twitter or X, and people have just gone to town on me, and that's good. I think the more people that know who you are, the better voice you can be.
Well, it gives you exposure, right? If let's say I'm upset,
Yeah.
and I repost and I'm going to town
Yeah.
on you
Yeah.
because I
Pardon the
totally
pun.
disagree.
That's
But the thing is that as I put it out, the people, my followers are seeing it. A number of them disagree with me, and
Yeah.
they'll agree with you.
That's
They'll go,
right.
let me start following her, right?
That's right.
So that's where it becomes the good part.
Absolutely.
And just sort of last thing is, so, it sounds a lot like you use, I don't want to say you use it for this, but you're utilizing a lot of social media and it gets you a lot of leads. So it's getting that lead. Now, Do you use it because you said you don't like posting where you are? Do you use it strongly for marketing a home, or is it more just marketing yourself and the brand?
Yeah, no, if you go through my social media videos, especially on TikTok, it's very rare that you'll see me showing a home. I do from time to time show a home that I have coming soon. When I do my professional video shoots, they usually go on Instagram. They don't do very well on TikTok, just the super cinematic videos all the agents do now. I'm actually trying to think of a way to do some different things with that, because it's just it's all drowned. Like, they look at, there's so many homes
Yeah.
online
Yeah.
that it's boring.
They all become the same.
You
can.
can't even differentiate between them now. So I don't post a lot of property content. No, that's kind of crazy. I'm a real estate agent.
I watched a really funny video this morning, an agent that I know well, and his topic was what sellers think we should do to buyers that bring low offers.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I was killing myself
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
And as a shout out, he used to be my neighbor, so I knew exactly what he was doing, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, is that going to upset some people? Maybe.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
Yeah, well, there's
He got
a
his
couple
points
agents out there that are really doing some. They're showcasing a home, but doing it so differently. There's the one young lady that goes out like, "This is a rich neighborhood."
She's
blah, blah.
insulting everything.
you
Yeah.
gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I don't want to give her too much notoriety here, because
Yeah.
she's not one of her. She's, no. No, I've seen some agents take some unique approaches
Yeah, this was
to
a unique
showcasing a
approach.
home, which is,
Yeah.
like you said, it's so different because there's so much the same.
You have to be original now.
Yeah.
You have to lean into
Huge.
originality.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna get drowned out.
No, this wasn't showcasing a home or anything of the above. It was
Yeah.
it was putting some visuals with a feeling that people have.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It certainly got my attention, and I'm sure it's going to get
what it's all
others.
about.
It's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And so we're getting out of that. We're getting out of that box.
Yeah.
The Facebook box, I guess, which is, Facebook was great in its time, but I think now compared to these others, it's pretty flat.
For sure.
It's pretty
Yeah.
flat.
I think it all comes down to how you use it. Because, I mean, I know a lot of people that swear by the Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And again, you find your strengths.
Strength.
So what are your strengths? And we talked about this just before we started airing, was the age demographic that you're working with. The typical agent is working with people plus or minus 10 years their own age. So, and I always say to them, if you were to do up so when I do marketing strategy, I go, who's your ideal client? Let's create the avatar. What's their age range, et cetera, et cetera. But where do they get the information? Because if they're not using, the younger ones are not using Facebook, then why would I spend time there?
That's right.
Right? You go where your audience is. If I'm going after high wealth individuals, I'm looking for the business owners, et cetera, they're not spending a lot of time on, say, social media. They might spend more time on LinkedIn.
Totally.
So maybe I should put my stuff on LinkedIn. And if you're with that younger demographic, then you're looking at things like Instagram stories, you're looking at TikTok, you're looking at, whatever the next product is going to be, but you do have to look at where your audience is.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
So,
part of the work.
before we wrap up, I'm just curious, because coming in, we don't give our guests, just so you guys know, we don't tell them much. We just say we're going to have a conversation.
That's right.
Just curious, anything about, doing social media that we haven't touched on that you think would be good for that average agent out there to know?
To know about authenticity. This is my end all and be all of what I do. I think a lot of agents are trying to be authentic through the lens of the consumer, and that's why the content isn't doing well, if you're doing that. Stop thinking about how you're perceived and just be you.
Yourself.
Put
Be you.
Put your stuff out there
and be you.
and stop thinking so much about it.
Yeah.
it's a big problem.
That's what I was saying. Mindset is
That's
a
right.
big problem.
It is.
Honestly, if I could say that about anything, it gets in everybody's way.
Yeah.
Everybody's way.
Yeah.
They have got, oh, I don't belong in that house. Oh, I'm not wealthy enough to show that house or have clients for that house. Oh, I don't know enough about this. Just get over yourself.
Exactly.
And be yourself and let that shine through.
That's
because
right.
that's who your emotional brand is. There's nobody like you.
Correct.
You are you.
Correct.
Nobody can replicate that, no
Yeah.
matter how hard they try.
Yep, I totally agree.
So,
So,
yeah.
There's only one Madelyn Townsend. For some people, that's enough. For
I
other
agree. I think it's more than enough.
For other people, they're going, oh,
I think it's more than
damn.
enough.
No.
Yeah. That's amazing.
great.
Oh, man. We so appreciate you being
Yeah.
on this
Thank
episode.
you to both of you. It's a great
Yeah.
conversation.
I'm going to have to follow you
Yeah.
on TikTok now. I read your
Uh-oh.
blog. No.
Yeah.
I
She's
have
not a big
lot-
TikToker.
No,
Lynn's
actually,
not a big TikToker.
I
We're going to
think
have to change that.
Yeah.
I think you would be surprised if you see who I listen to on TikTok,
no.
which I'm not sharing with anybody right now. But
I think we're going to have to shoot a quick TikTok right after
I
this stops
think you
airing.
would be quite surprised, you see. It's
Get you on there, Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. I mean,
There you go.
it's fun. I'd probably have to post and ghost. That's all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Madeline.
you.
We really
Thank you, both
appreciate
of
it.
you. Appreciate
Really
it.
nice to get to meet you.
Thank you. You as well.
And thank you to all of you for catching this episode of the Business of Real Estate podcast. Lynn Hoffman and Eric Johnson. We appreciate you all so very much, and we'll see you on the next episode. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.